Hey Russ, you heard about Google lately? They're a looker.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to the Biz Boyz broadcast. I'm Russ, and by my side as always is the mean, the monstrous Mason Money.
Roar. Roar.
Wow. Okay, well, here on the Biz Boyz broadcast, we share our business experience, inform you on business news that's going on in the world, and try to entertain you along the way.
And in the spirit of informing you about big businesses, I have a humdinger. Oh, I used that word last time. I have a hootenanny of an article today, Russ.
Must be good or bad. I don't really know what hootenanny means.
It's. I've reached the bottom of the barrel. I'm really just continuing talking about Google's acquisitions because there's just been so many this year.
We've talked about like 3 of them already.
Yeah, they're buying companies left and right. Beware, you're the next. No, but anyway. So Google, you would agree that Google is a pretty big company, right?
Huge. I love Google.
It's huge. But last week, they just decided they want to get bigger. And last week, they announced a recent acquisition and merger for Looker, a business intelligence company, for $2.6 billion in an all-cash deal in an effort to add capability to the Google Cloud.
What does Looker do?
Oh, Russ.
Please describe.
It's like you're reading the next line of my script.
Oh, I can see it.
Okay. So, Russ, here is Looker.
Oh.
Looker is a business intelligence analytics platform that allows the businesses to quantify and measure nearly every aspect of their operation using an SQL database queries, and has been doing this for over 7 years. Now,
do you happen to know what SQL means? I don't know what SQL means.
Yes. Oh, God damn it, Russ.
You can look it up if you want real quick.
It's software query.
There's a lot of people that probably know on here, but we're going to look it up so we get that information to you.
Ask me the question again, so this is natural.
What does SQL mean, Mason?
Oh, SQL means, damn it, we're structured query language, Russ. I knew that off the top of my head.
Structured query language.
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. So fast forward 6.5 years since its founding, they have just been awarded $103 million in their Series E funding round, which gave them a valuation of about $1.6 billion.
Wow.
Now, they also have reported that they have 1,600 customers, clients, and things like that, and they've crossed over the $100 million annual revenue mark, and they've noticed that their revenue is continuing to grow at 70% year over year.
With 1,600 customers, they're over $100 million in revenue?
Yeah, they probably argue different contracts, different rates and stuff depending on the customer and the things they want.
Yeah.
So anyway, the two companies, Google and Looker, have the potential of bringing together a complete data analytics solutions for customers. The combination provides an end-to-end analytics platform to connect, collect, analyze, and visualize data across the Google Cloud. Now, the deal is expected to close later this year and will be the 4th largest acquisition Google has ever made in history. That is among their 234 acquisitions they've made since their inception. Now,
it's a lot of acquisitions.
Yes.
I guess you don't get as big as Google is without acquiring existing technologies. If you try to develop all that yourself, it's going to take a long time, a lot of money that you probably don't have at the time.
Yes, so the point of this video is actually not talk about specifically about Looker. Ha! Fooled you. It's actually to talk about Google is probably one of the most prominent companies that uses the strategy of M&A. And I wanted to go over some M&As they've done, mergers and acquisitions.
Okay, thank you.
You're such a noob.
I guess so.
No, I wanted to go over some mergers and acquisitions that they've done in the past so that you, as a small business, if you're into that sort of thing and you want to get bought out, you can strategically manage your business to be more attractive to a company like Google or somebody like that.
That'd be nice. I think most companies start out with the idea that they're going to take their business all the way and they're going to be the next big thing. But down the road, if you've pretty much done what you wanted to and you don't see a lot of growth, but somebody as big is willing to buy you out and you want to move on to other things, why not? Why not just sell yourself?
So I have 3 examples here, each exhibiting a different reason and kind of strategy to the M&A that Google did. Starting with, they basically focused on expanding into complementary markets that didn't directly fall under their functionality, but still was what am I thinking of? Harmonious with their core competencies.
Yeah, so it fits in well with their already established brand and
And
offers.
Two M&As that follow that strategy is the acquisition of Android in 2005 for $50 million. That allowed them to use their that allowed them to develop an operating system that just basically used every Google functionality. And YouTube, they acquired YouTube in 2006 for $1.65 billion, and that was to get user data.
Those are the two biggest?
Those are not the two biggest.
Oh,
They're
wow.
not even close. But those are ways that Google used the M&A strategy to go into markets that weren't necessarily right under their umbrella.
Maybe they weren't big then, but they're huge now. I mean, if you're not using an Apple, you have an Android operating system on your phone.
Absolutely.
And everybody knows YouTube.
And they did it for $50 million, which is not too bad to see where Android's grown to today.
Yeah.
So another strategy that's actually very, very interesting that I wanted to share is actually there's a strategy to use M&As to scare your current partners into cooperating. Let me elaborate.
Okay.
All right. So of several years ago, in 2001, Google had a relationship with Samsung, and still does, that allowed Samsung, the hardware developer, to use Android OS on their hardware for free. It got the OS out there, and it benefited Google because it got more users using it, and Samsung got an OS for free. So that was a very nice relationship.
All the galaxies and everything?
Yes. However, Samsung, late in the relationship, did a no-no. It started taking the OS, creating apps that were bad skins of the original OS, and they tried to pass it off as the original brand of Android.
Oh.
Now,
okay.
see, that hurts Android's brand image.
Yeah.
So what Google did is they purchased Motorola Mobility in 2011 for what was their biggest acquisition for $12.5 billion. So
wow.
they purchased Motorola.
That was Samsung's like spin-off kind of thing?
No, that was Samsung's competitor.
Okay.
So they purchased Samsung's competitor to ramp up, or to give them manufacturing capability. They ramped up the production of Motorola just to scare Samsung. That scared Samsung enough to sign a global patent deal in 2014 with Google, which toned down the Android bad skins, and focused Samsung on making sure that they use Android core apps.
Okay.
2 days later, Google sold Motorola to Lenovo for $2.95 billion. So they took a loss
Holy
of $10 billion.
crap. Yeah.
But it was to secure their relationship and show dominance in their partnership.
That's an expensive partnership,
Yes.
But it's been worth it.
Yes. So the third technique, if I may, Raz, and this one is a little bit more common, it's buying ownership to patented or IP technology. We actually talked about it a lot further, so I won't go into detail, but that was this Fossil smartwatch.
Right.
We talked about it a while ago, but it was essentially Google buying their IP and their technology so they didn't have to develop their own, and taking some of the Fossil R&D team into their own house. And they did that for a cool, crisp, small $40 million, which may seem like a lot, but that is a
small
drop
compared
in the bucket.
to the 12 billion.
Yes, but that is a drop in the bucket, and that may be a lot less than they would have spent if they developed the technology on their own.
Yeah.
So as a startup, you got to kind of think of these kind of things. If you're interested in getting bought, you got to think who is in your industry that is the big dog, and if you want to sell to them. I recommend don't try to be aggressive with them and try to butt heads with them. Try to actually be complementary to their service. One example is if you're in a sunscreen market and you're developing a product that's an applicator for sunscreen, that's a complementary product to someone like Coppertone who's developing the sunscreen. Yeah. So think about that. Think about how you can actually help out and form a symbiotic relationship with big companies like that.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be software based. You can fit your product, your physical like food product maybe into like McDonald's buys a lot of other food brands, fast food brands, smaller brands. If McDonald's owns Chipotle, I don't know if McDonald's bought Chipotle early on or they started Chipotle, but a lot of those kind of food brands buy smaller businesses, but they keep that sub brand. So it doesn't matter if you're software, hardware, or like consumer staples. You can position yourself to be bought out by bigger people to do it right.
So that's all we have for this video. We want to talk a little bit about M&As and how it could benefit you as a startup. Please write in the comments, what are some unique M&As that you've seen companies do that are kind of typically outside the norm, that exhibit a strategy that you wouldn't have even thought of? Please like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think about this video and other future videos that we could do. But
absolutely.
Other than that, have a good one. Peace.